Ralph's store, which is a 65,000 square foot tear down of the existing store and building of a new store. It's a one-story store above 2 levels of parking, so the store itself ends up being starting on the 2nd floor. It's 37 feet above the Ventura Boulevard and 48 feet at the rear above Moore Park. That's in contrast to the Sherman Oaks, the Ventura Boulevard specific plan, which allows 30 feet. So we were encouraged by what Councilman Koretz told us last meeting, that Ralph's was going to propose or submit a plan that was more in compliance with the specific plan. Turns out he was just kidding, and there's no plan forthcoming. So we have to work a little harder. The existing pavilions market will be torn down and rehabbed by Vaughn's. They're proposing a 58,000 square foot structure, 33 feet above Ventura at the front and 40 feet above the parking lot and back. It's essentially one story above subterranean and parking, and the parking daylights to the rear. We would like to work with them to bring them into compliance, but they are closer than Ralph's. The 900-pound gorilla is Il Villaggio Toscano, pardon my Italian. This is a 500 apartment unit building north of the Galleria on Sepulveda, 8 stories high with a 45,000 square foot market and 3 levels of underground parking. 500,000 cubic yards of dirt being removed, 30,000 plus truck trips. It's a mammoth project. Obviously it does not comply with the plan, so we will be working with the councilman, and we have put together with the homeowners of Encino and Encino Property Owners Association a website which will be up soon, and we'll put the link on the Sherman Oaks homeowners website. So my time is limited.
Not only limited, it's up. Bobby Anderson, Ellen Bukovich, come up.
With the city, we're trying to put together an ordinance and get it passed that protects from huge houses being built on tiny lots. And the good news is we're making some progress. The people in the flatlands are protected, and Sean Baelish just told me that Councilmen Koretz and Labange introduced a resolution to make sure that flatland protection stays in place because it's due to expire. In the meantime, the City Planning Commission has approved the hillside ordinance, it's a very complex ordinance that protects against grading, height, floor area, mass. And that passed the first step. Now we have to go to the Planning and Land Use Management Committee, and we have to go to the City Council, but we're getting there. That's the good news. The bad news is the City Planning Commission diluted the measure quite a bit. They took out a lot of the restrictions on grading. What they actually did is they left the restrictions in, but they excluded all the grading from the restrictions. So the only thing that counts is a swimming pool. You can dig as deep a basement as you want, but if you count a swimming pool, you're capped. So we're working on fixing that. Sean's been helping us with some of the Brentwood people and others. So if anybody would like some information, I have it. If anyone would like to volunteer to write a letter to their council person or even attend a plum meeting, I'd be glad to have anyone come along, or I'll help you with that, because the more pressure we can put on people to get this passed, the better off. Thank you.
Thank you. Jules, quickly, and then Ellen. You forgot to thank someone.
That's what happens when you get older. You know, we had some great dessert tonight. And what's the matter with me? I forgot to acknowledge NATAS Pastries, Fatima. And you know where they're located? You all know this is the only Portuguese bakery in the city of Los Angeles. And they're right next door to a very famous restaurant, Casa Vega. Anyway, she's not here right now. She wasn't feeling well. But she came here, she was a real trooper. She came here and she gave us all some delicious desserts. And I just wanted to thank her, and she knows that.
Thank you. Ellen?
Okay, I have to speak in 2 minutes, and you all know what I do with time, but in this case I really do have to speak fast. I bring you greetings from, I bring you greetings from City Attorney Carmen Trutanich. I bring to the Chief of Police a very warm thank you from Carmen Trutanich for services rendered last night in closing down more marijuana labs, or I'm sorry, facilities. I want to explain a few, I got to explain a few key things. You're going to be hearing a lot of misinformation about the purported seize of more authority by the city attorney. Through an assembly bill that is going to, if approved by the state senate, will give him powers to subpoena witnesses through a grand jury. This has never been done before. It's need to be done in order to enforce quality of life protections in our community that, thanks to all of the recent cutbacks in the city of Los Angeles, many things that need to be taken care of no longer will be on a priority list. Well, he doesn't want to see that happening. Did you know that Los Angeles has some of the highest mortgage fraud in California, if not in the United States? That's one of the things he wants to do. He wants to be able to go after bad guys, and that goes all the way from mortgage fraud perpetrators to, sorry, I can't speak tonight, to corruption in City Hall. And that's what elected officials fear the most. Contrary to what you will hear, this amount of money that will be funded from his budget, which by the way has been cut back from 18% the preceding budget year and another 10%. So 28% has been taken from the city attorney, which is the city's arm for working with the LAPD and the district attorney for enforcing the law, laws that make your quality of life better. So as far as that assembly bill goes, just keep this in mind. The city attorney already has certain powers conferred on him by the state legislature, as well as another set of powers conferred on him by the city charter. So you need to understand, he is not going beyond the reach of the law as reported, for example, in the LA Times. He is just trying to seek further protections for all of us. The other thing is I want to say is about the money involved. He figures $180,000 to impanel a jury at most twice a month, each month for a year. And that's it. And the $180,000, just to put it into perspective, will come from his pocketbook, if you will. And on a case which the city attorney successfully prosecuted, the investigation fees alone were $157,000.
Any other questions, please see.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we want to thank the city attorney for dropping by at the last meeting.